Okay, today I have a couple of things that are just weirding me out. Oh my gosh. Okay, these are just stories, and take from them what you will. But so this, I was on Twitter all the time and trying to get the word out about, the this illusionary world that we're living in, and trying to get the truth of what was going on to people. So I was on Twitter a lot, and one of the times I got kicked off, then it was before I got kicked off. There was a neighbor woman, and I would see her because the Nextdoor app is everybody uses out here, rural, as a connection. So a lot of the people, but there's kind of small town, so they get in fights and gossip, all sorts of stuff goes on Nextdoor. It is funny, but anyways, this woman had posted something. She was congratulating the new president weeks ago, and so when she was doing that, then you have this certain group of people who all completely agree with her and say all sorts of stuff. And then you have other people that are like, it's not even done yet. What are you talking about? And this woman was just being attacked and bullied. They were so bullying these people. And so I started talking to this one, and she invited me into their group chat. And so I went into their group chat, and you could talk with, there's a couple people who are deep into this narrative, but it's not like on the main page at all. Anyways, in that group, there was also this other woman who was being attacked. And so she started messaging me, and she was talking about, to me, it sounded like she was suicidal. She was saying that she just wanted to die. She was ready to die. People are too crazy, blah, 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 all this stuff. And so, I'm just trying to give uplifting things, you don't want to find a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and everything's going to get better. We're moving into a better time and place. And, so I tried to talk to her. And so she started messaging me and stuff. And then she started telling me that she is an artist, and she hand makes dolls and stuff. And I love dolls. I have my very first doll that I ever had in my life. I still have her. I have my mom's first doll. I would have had way more, but there was just no way from all the times of moving and stuff. But anyway, so I was interested in seeing her dolls. And so she had invited me over to come and check them out and see if I wanted to buy one and stuff. And she was showing me different ones. And when I went over there, she was even saying, well, I can even teach you how to do it. And I was like, oh, that'd be so cool. I would love to paint a doll and see, how realistic I can make it look. And anyways, she's sitting there talking to me. She's just giving me things. Oh, you got to read this book. Oh, you got to read this book. Oh, and talking to me. And her and her husband have been studying the Bible their whole marriage. They've been married since the 70s. And she said that they have studied it. They don't go to church. They just study the Bible. And they have all the answers. And I'm not considered a Christian by Christians. I don't believe that, I believe Jesus Christ was just a man, and he came and he was doing teachings and trying to get people to understand certain concepts, and people weren't ready, and it was used to form a religion, and it was manipulated by the information in order to control the people. So I believe that there's God. I believe that there is, higher power, that there's energy, there's source, or whatever you want to call it. But all these names and labels and stuff. That's all like three-dimensional thinking to me. But so, I overlook, her preaching and stuff. And so she started trying to, it was the day before Thanksgiving, and she started trying to get me to come over to her house for Thanksgiving. I guess she used to make dinner for another person, and they ended up being, they died. So I guess she wanted to fill that spot with me. So she starts asking me if I'll come to Thanksgiving. And I was like, no, I'm, just going to stay home. And that wasn't enough. It was like 3 or 4 more messages offering more and more things, right? All these things that she's going to make me. And I had to keep saying no, no, no. It was like, I said, this is my dog's last Thanksgiving. I'm just going to stay here with him. I want to spend time with him. And I'm not really that into Thanksgiving. It's mostly just, to me, is a time just to be with family, but I can't. My family has to keep me away for my own protection because they're so busy living their lives, just keep me away. But anyways, so I was like, I'm just not into it, and I want to spend time with my dogs. And then she sent me a message that she will give me a doll if I'll come for tea on Thanksgiving. And I had sent a message, and I was like, okay, well, that's really nice of you. You don't have to do that. And she had sent a message back and said, well, I just got up. I'll message later. So this is Thanksgiving, right? So she didn't message, and I just, didn't go. I don't know there's no way you could actually know the protocol or anyone's expectations because it's all based on perception and perspective. It's all individual. So you can't read into any situation because you have no idea what the other person's view is, what their vision, right? So I just blew it off. And then the next day I was thinking, about my own stuff. And I was thinking it's kind of weird is that if somebody gives me something, I don't feel like I can just receive it. It's like they have to say, no, really, I want you to have this. And I was thinking, why would I be like, and I started going through, because it's all about reflection, it's all about looking at your own triggers, at your own stuff, right? And I started thinking like, well, of course, if you grow up in an alcoholic house and then you marry alcoholic after alcoholic, alcoholics are prone to, it's not just moodiness, because it's a complete shift. It's like a personality. It's like split personality, all living in this one person, because it depends on, how much they drank, what the mood, everything. And so a lot of times, when they're happy, well, they're going to give you this and we're going to do this and all that stuff, right? But then they're sober and no, none of that stuff. Why would you even believe that kind of attitude, So I think I've carried that on through adulthood, but then it kind of, at what point does it become a handicap where you need people to constantly, overdo it? So it's like you have to, figure your own stuff out, but you have to have an awareness of the stuff before you can figure it out. So just getting the awareness puts you in the next step. So I'm sitting there thinking, about that. So then I think, well, I should just say that, it's kind of like a profound moment for me. So I'll just share it with her and say, I wasn't really sure about the doll, and blah, blah, blah. Wrote a long message about my experience about coming to this realization. She didn't answer. And so I thought, well, that's weird. And didn't answer. Then I'm like, okay, so maybe she's mad I didn't come to, when she's giving me this offer, this doll, that I can come for tea. And then I saw that she left next door entirely. And I was like, well, maybe she's being bullied by those people. They are mean as can be to her. So she had given me her phone number and her email. So I went into her email and I sent her a private message and I said, I saw you left next door. I hope it's not because of the bullies. A bunch of us have turned them in, and they might be getting kicked off, and which they didn't. Side note, they, who the main administrator is of the page is their friend, so the censorship works out well for that group. You can only talk about the truth on the main page. Anything that's outside of their narrative is fake, crazy, conspiracy theory, made up, false, everything. So anyways, I had emailed her and she didn't answer. So then I was talking to my mom and I was like, it's so weird. I was like, I just think it's, and so I go through and tell her the whole story, and she's like, oh my God, better not go over there. Do not talk to her. I think that she wanted to eat you for Thanksgiving. I think they were going to cook you. There's something wrong with those people. Do not go near them. And so I was like, well, she's not saying anything. It's just so weird. So suddenly yesterday, she starts messaging me again. And so I was busy all day yesterday. I was having that horrible migraine. And I ended up doing this RSO. It's a concentrate. It's a medical concentrate of it's more pure of I don't know if it's THC. I don't really know all this stuff. This morning I was watching a doctor talking about mushrooms and how it's in studies right now for depression. 2 different drug companies have it, and that they want to release that it's been the most effective for depression, and they're figuring out a lot about bipolar using those psychoactive mushrooms. So anyways, the thing with the RSO, so when I did that, and I just could not get rid of that headache, but I just started getting flooded with information. It was like overwhelming. So I was just writing and writing to the point where my fingers were hurting. And I was writing, and then it's when I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have to write a book. There's no way I can get all this stuff in there, talking each day about all this. I've just got to organize this. And it was like they were telling me, so I was just getting all this information. And that's one thing that I have found with weed, or, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, is that all of the benefits, but one of the things that I love about it is that it's almost like your soul is in this house, this vehicle, right? It's all closed in, and then you're giving all these parameters and paradigms and stuff to form who you think you are. And then when you smoke, it is like all of a sudden a window's open and you're getting all this new information. It's like to me, it feels kind of like a portal or something. Like you just, it feels kind of like you've gone more into a relaxed state of mind, and you're more able to receive information. So I personally think it's a great tool for meditation and just getting in touch with your own spirit and the outside information that's coming into you. And so, yesterday I was just focused on that. I had my own thing going. And so not reading the message or whatever. So then this morning, the curiosity got the best of me. I'm just so weirded out. Yesterday morning started out with me in a huge battle with a couple of my kids, because for my own health, I have to stay away from their house for Christmas. I can't see my kids and my grandkids. So another holiday, isolated, but they can enjoy their life. So one daughter who works in the what was it I said yesterday? She told me it was essential worker at the weed store, and they've all been wearing masks the whole time for this essential job. And anyways, now they're all getting sick, I guess. Which, I told her a long time ago, don't wear that mask. You will get sick. It's going to make these people sick. You couldn't see. there's going to be a huge amount of people are going to get sick and die from these masks. And but no, it's the COVID, it's the flu, it's the illness, it's coming for you. And anyways, so fighting with them all morning. That was probably also added into my horrible migraine. And so then this morning, so when I read hers, I was like, what in the, maybe I am completely insane. Like I was thinking about the book thing. And I was thinking, when you're writing about stuff that is spiritual, like, I could be the crazy old lady who lived in the cabin by herself and lost her mind, Mad Woman in the Woods kind of book. And it depends on what the culture, what the climate is, right? How information is perceived and accepted. So, I have no control over that. It's trusting the universe. If they have information that they want out and they have the timing they want out and you're triggered and blah, blah, blah. And so the information is given out. So, but still, you don't know. I could be completely insane because I'm definitely different than, I don't even know if I know anyone who is like me. I don't know. I don't think I do. But so I'm heavily tattooed, and I'm heavily tattooed not because I'm mental or because I've got some insatiable need for tattoos or something. I did tattoos a long time ago in California, and then I had myself in some dramas and stuff and decided I needed to leave that situation. I gotta finish this story.